One. All right, how's everybody doing? I got an echo on my end, and my video is actually going in and out. So I don't know what's going on with B Live. I don't know if my connection or not. But actually, it's kind of weird to hear an echo. But I'm here with Martinez, and he is actually, I got to ask him a couple of questions or whatever it is. And I am going to, he's going to, I guess, explain to me everything that he is doing online. This is real. I'm trying to, I'm hearing the echo in my voice and everything. We're having technical difficulties. So I'm going to see how this works out. Because by the time I'm completed a sentence, I'm hearing it in my ear. So it's going back and forth. But I appreciate Aaron joining me on here. And actually, I just want him to open up. Just I want him to tell us about his engagement and how he did everything, all that online.
So yeah, I mean, technical difficulties I feel like are a part of every live show, especially. But yeah, so I guess a quick section about myself. I don't want to sit here and talk about me and this whole time, but yeah, I mean, I have a YouTube channel. That's kind of where everything started, and then kind of transitioned, like a lot of people, got targeted with a couple, digital marketing gurus, experts, if you will, and kind of fell down that rabbit hole. And here we are today, still leveraging YouTube to grow my agency and stuff like that. But as far as the engagement, yeah, a lot of stuff happened pretty quickly. So the girl, my now fiance, her name's Rebecca. And yeah, just really leveraging a lot of, I mean, she's super smart and she has her own business as well. But yeah, I as far as, I mean, specifics of how that video went down, it was really like a last minute decision. I had a previous plan like a couple hours before that and nothing panned out. It was a terrible day. I was supposed to like plant something in the woods and go from there, and completely different thing, had to switch it around and came up with a different idea in a different video. So yeah, I guess that's just a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, as far as growing your agency using YouTube, how are you doing? Are you running ads, or are you?
So am I running ads? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So are you running ads? Can you hear me good, or are you?
Yeah, I can hear you. It just cut out for a second, but
right.
But yeah, I'm not necessarily using paid traffic on YouTube to grow the agency. More of I'm using it as a platform to house content. So recently, and I haven't really been using it as much lately, just because I've been so focused on launching a new brand for my agency, basically a subsidiary with a business partner of mine, and I think like, for the most part, like, you just kind of have to look at it as like, this is the second largest search engine. And when people are searching like how to, there's a couple of pretty big names out there right now. Jordan Steen is one that comes to mind, serial entrepreneur that's killing it on YouTube. And he's just been able to capture that. Like, if you go to YouTube, type in how to start a digital marketing agency, digital marketing 2019, like those kind of things, that's kind of the same take that I'm going on YouTube as well, is just for people that are looking to grow their agencies, looking for more information about digital marketing, SMMA, that kind of stuff, and really leveraging that, and then bringing them over to I guess the not influencers isn't the right word, but basically getting them to follow me over on Facebook and what I'm doing on that side, Instagram as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Now, as far as if somebody, actually, I'm trying to grow my presence on YouTube, and a lot of influencers are talking about YouTube as opposed to, and I know you don't run ads and everything like that, but everybody's talking about going to Facebook, going to Instagram and everything. How important is building your brand on YouTube?
So I think it doesn't really like, YouTube is a great platform, right? Like, and again, this just goes back to being the second largest search engine. But I think that the way a lot of people are kind of looking at it wrong right now is treating it like a social platform, right? Like, social platforms, you have the ones that we know and love: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. Like, those are social apps. You can build up a following, you have, and you interact with people on like a one-to-one level, as opposed to with YouTube, where you kind of have to take it from is like, what are people searching for? So there's very like conflicted opinions on this. Like, should I just make tutorial videos or should I make like clickbaity videos? The thing was, like, for example, let's say on Facebook, you want to make a video and it's like not top 10, but let's just say you want to make like a clickbaity video. We see it all the time where the first section of like a piece of copy is something that like grabs your attention, right? And that's something like it's clickbait. It brings you in, and what I see kind of like the issue there is it's being very vague on Facebook. The same thing does not translate over to YouTube until you have that following, right? So if you were super vague on YouTube when you're first starting out and you say, I can't believe this happened, right? Like, that's not going to translate into a lot of people finding that video because there's no keywords there. There's no meat. There's no SEO involved there. So when it comes to, and going back to your question based on, like, how does somebody grow a YouTube channel? I would think of it more as like, where can I expand my reach, right? And the thing is, and what I tell everyone is, for example, a lot of digital marketing friends, if Facebook was to decide tomorrow to shut down their ad platforms, everyone's kind of screwed. You know what I mean? Like, so thinking it more of the like, let me grow my influence over on YouTube as well and build up this following so that not all of my eggs are in one basket on Facebook. Like, whether it's a Facebook group that, I mean, we both know a lot of people that are highly influential in the space and are making a lot of money through their Facebook groups. But what happens tomorrow if your Facebook group is no more, right? Like, all Mark Zuckerberg has to say is, oh, sorry, Facebook groups are gone. Obviously, it's probably not going to happen, but just having that mindset to make sure that you are actively on these other platforms to at least like grow some sort of following, I think is super important.
That's pretty interesting you say that, because I know a lot of people talk about diversifying stocks, and where they put money. Make sure you diversify where you put your money, but it seems like you're saying diversify where you put your content.
I mean, I don't want to be like going against what everybody's saying, but at the same time, like, you just have to remember, for example, Vine, right? Like, there was so many Vine influencers out there and so many people that grew their following on Vine. And one day they were literally just like, all right, bye. And if a lot of these followers that we knew, like, unless they were actively growing their following on like YouTube, and obviously towards the end of the platform, when the creators were like, okay, we're like shutting down this platform, all you saw on Vine was, hey, check out my Instagram, hey, check out my YouTube. But it was like this last ditch effort as opposed to somebody that was adopting it early on when they were like actively trying to bring over to their platforms. It was a more gradual thing than like all of their content turning into, hey, follow my YouTube, hey, follow my Instagram, hey, follow my YouTube. But again, that's a pretty good example on just how quickly something can go away without really, they don't have any obligation to tell you, hey, we're shutting our platform down. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I personally think it's kind of silly to have all your eggs in one basket, but at the end of the day, like, people are going to do what they do and they're going to continue to work. And it's the difference between adapting and staying where you are is where I believe is going to be like the real, deciding factor in if you are progressing through social media and not.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. I know that a lot of people talk about, what's the easiest way that you can, because I know, are you trying to build your agency as far as using YouTube, or are you also trying to actually monetize your YouTube channel? Because I think somebody I just found out that usually it takes 1,000 views before you get how much money, maybe like $1 or something. So I mean, I guess the engagement on YouTube is not what it used to be. What somebody is, saying. So you actually only solely trying to build your agency, or you also trying? I mean, is YouTube a platform, to sell products, digital products, or to sell, affiliate to do affiliate things, or I know you say you do a lot of stuff organically, and yeah. So I mean, is YouTube a place to do that, or should you just pretty much solely? Well, obviously, I know you should solely focus on Facebook, but I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
So I guess thoughts on that would be YouTube has changed a lot when it comes to ad revenue. When I first, I've been making YouTube videos since I was 14, which was, 9 years ago. Well, yeah, 10 years ago. So it's just changed so much since then. Like a little background of what I used to do. I actually come from like obviously creating YouTube videos, but I found like the secret sauce in like growing YouTube channel. So I don't know if you've heard of the channel Top Trending, but I actually grew, right now it's at 4.3 million. My partner and I actually grew it to 600,000 and then we sold it. And then we just kept like turning and burning. A lot of relatively large channels now, well, not a lot, but like probably 10 or so channels that you see out there that have like over 500 to 1 million subscribers. Like there's a couple that we had our hand in the pot. But back then, like, and this is going like a little bit deeper into it, but if you're thinking that growing a YouTube channel is going to like the ad money, like the money that you make on ads is nowhere near what it used to be, even like 3 years ago. Reason being, a lot of the Logan Pauls and the Jake Pauls and the PewDiePies of the world that do things that make advertisers want to step back and giving their money. At the end of the day, YouTube makes most of its money off of running the advertisements. So when these advertisers start pulling out their ad budgets to YouTube because these influencers are promoting things that they don't really, these companies don't want to put their brand name on, is when the CPM starts to dip. So the way that you make money and the way a lot of people are making money on YouTube now isn't from the ads, but more of being able to sell their digital product. And this goes back to just, I forgot who said it, but it's the 1,000 true fans model. And basically you only need 1,000 people to actually like buy your products to become successful online. So for example, I know this guy, a friend of mine, he's in the affiliate marketing space. He has, I think, 50,000 subscribers and he's doing like 60K a month on YouTube from affiliate commissions, digital products, that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't come into YouTube thinking that you need like a crazy amount of views and crazy amount of subscribers. Heck, I know a guy that has like, I think 15,000 subscribers and he's doing about 20 to 25K a month just from selling an online course. So I guess going back to the question of like how to make money and it's like, is it a legitimate business model? I believe so. If you do it the right way and you aren't trying to look at the numbers, but more of like your influence when it comes to a personality or a YouTube channel.
All right. I know Brian Ostermiller joined us actually just probably a few minutes ago, and he says Aaron inspired me. He said with as far as the fashion, and he says you're a good looking dad. And, Charlie, what's going on? How you doing, Charlie? And
thanks, Brian. I love you, man.
So I know you mentioned here's a few sentences ago, a few paragraphs ago. I know you mentioned about selling channels. I really never ever heard anybody say that before. So you said that you actually sold a YouTube channel for about 600,000. Did somebody actually approach you, or did you approach somebody else? I mean, how did that come about?
So online, there is a I say this jokingly, but it's basically like a YouTube channel black market, and there's websites where people will buy YouTube channels. It pretty much simple as that. But so a partner and I, this was back in like 2014, 2015, around that time. What was really big, and you'll see on YouTube, there's a lot of like different trends that go through if you really look at what people are talking about. But about 2014, 2015 was a really big time where list videos, like list channels, so like top 5, blah, 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 top 10, blah, blah, like those were very popular. So we found our niche basically for about a year of literally like we made like 4 or 5 YouTube channels that were pretty much the exact same thing. We hired different commentators. I was actually the commentator for Top Trending when we went from 5,000 to about 200,000 subscribers. I was like the commentator for that. And then we started like outsourcing the voiceover, and we were outsourcing the editing. So really all we were doing was posting and creating the thumbnails and stuff like that. So again, like we kind of found the secret sauce, which really all came down to SEO, came down to making sure like the content was top notch. People started to gravitate towards that. And then once you hit a certain point, like it just starts snowballing. So we kind of our main goal was to get it to like 50,000. And then after that, like YouTube just started promoting it like crazy because we knew what we were doing. But yeah, that's pretty much what we did. We would grow them to like, even to past 100,000 subscribers. They were going for a pretty good amount of money. Just because like, constantly, how would you like to go from no subscribers to buying a channel with 100,000 and just keeping that momentum going? Is it a legitimate business model? Yeah. If we were selling it to somebody that was actually like wanted to continue the brand. Where we saw a lot of the channels fail was when we would grow it to a certain point with this objective in mind of making these list videos, and then the advertiser or whoever bought the channel, they like completely flipped what the channel was about. So they just started losing subscribers and ultimately had no engagement. But yeah, it still happens now, like for people that are really into it. I just don't have the time to really dive into that stuff anymore. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting couple of years.
Let me ask you this. How did you actually, I guess, get started in YouTube or on YouTube or just in internet marketing in general? I mean, what exactly is your background?
So that kind of just goes back to I was 14 years old. And the story is like a little bit, I wouldn't say dark, but so at the time I actually moved to a different place. Like I lived where I live right now. I lived here for like 4 or 5 years. I made a bunch of really awesome friends. My dad's in the Navy, so we move around a lot. But we moved and I had to move away from all my friends and like all that kind of stuff. And it kind of got to a point where I was like feeling not like depressed 14-year-old. Like I feel like anybody that's a teenager feels that way. But I just like really, I didn't really feel like I had anybody to talk to. And like, I found a lot of comfort in watching YouTube videos of these influencers. And at the time there was a couple of people that I was following that even to this day, like it's become a little bit more normalized of people like watching people play video games. But a lot of my names on other platforms is Aaron FPS, and it comes from Aaron FPS, which stands for first person shooter. And yeah, so I think I found the comfort in not only watching videos, but I found out that like these people were making money creating videos, just playing video games. And I was like, oh shit, like I play video games and watch YouTube all the time. Like I want to do this exact same thing. Obviously it didn't turn out that well at first. I mean, I remember this was my sophomore year in high school. Literally my schedule every single day for an entire year was wake up, go to school, come home, play video games, make a YouTube video. And like I uploaded every single day on this one YouTube channel for an entire year. And I think not only did that teach me discipline, but it also like helped me find my voice. Like a lot of people are like, they see me making my videos like even now, and they're like, how are you like so confident on video? And how can you like speak so well? And how this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, literally go make a YouTube channel, make a video every single day. And there you go. That's how you're going to get comfortable on video. Since then, like obviously I've been in my career, if you will, within the past 10 years, I've made thousands of videos. I've done thousands of voiceover like projects and stuff like that. So I guess that's kind of how I got into YouTube, and it just progressed from there. And then kind of like I said earlier, getting into the internet marketing and stuff like that, just being on YouTube. Ty Lopez was a big influence. There was a couple years ago when he was like plastered all over YouTube. So just like being constantly in front of like digital marketing, this, SMMA, that, make money online, this, like it was just kind of meant to be. And I fell into it, and it's been that way for about the last, like, I don't know, like 9 months or so.
That's good. That's a good story. And I know that when I was growing up, it used to be, what do you want to be? An athlete, or, something like that. People would say athlete, but actually now, I just spoke to a guy actually at work, and he said, his son, he asked his son what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said, I want to be an influencer.
I want to be a YouTuber.
Like, and it kind of took him by here, but I mean, these kids, I guess there are pretty much, YouTube is like TV. Because we used to just sit and watch, well, I know I did, you just sit and, watch TV, just, for hours and hours. Now kids are just like you said, you sit and, watch, YouTube. And I know something big in the space, on YouTube is actually video games and all that stuff. Just kind of like you said, the people just playing video games and people actually sending money. Actually, it was another adult that I was talking to that actually said that they were actually sending money to, a person just to play, watch them play video games.
Yep.
I guess a tactic or something in the game. So I think that's, pretty.
People don't understand, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but people just don't understand this has been a thing that I've been into for the past 5 years, jumping in a little of it more. Probably about 4 years ago, I was actually a commentator for a video game competitions. There's this thing, it's called MLG, Major League Gaming. They actually flew me out to multiple different events where they put it up on, they streamed it out just like we're doing right now, live stream to an audience of hundreds of thousands of people. It's insane. And some of these people that, and going off onto the the live streaming stuff there, I don't know if have you heard of Fortnite?
I have, yeah.
I'm sure you have, yeah. But there's the largest streamer right now on Twitch, which a lot of people are getting into now as well. His name's Ninja, and he literally makes $6 million a month playing video games. It's insanity. Because he has so on Twitch, and this is going down a rabbit hole, but on Twitch, you can pay, like you said, you can either donate to people or you can subscribe to them. So you subscribe $5-10 a month. This dude has 90 or no, it's 70,000 subscribers. So 70,000 people that are paying $5 a month on top of donations, on top of, he's sponsored by Nike and Gatorade and Red Bull, all the different places. So it's the shift in what has happened with video games and online marketing and stuff like that has been so crazy within the past couple of years. I mean, video games are in the X Games. What? You know what I mean?
I did not know that. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, as far as video games, I had no idea, as far as they were in the X Games. I mean, what is that? I thought pretty much the X Games.
It's a sport. They classify it as a sport.
Wow, that's I don't know. To me, that's insane. But I mean, obviously, you guys are talking about. Some people are saying it's only have one source of income, but pretty much we're sitting here saying that people are making money. What do you say, $6 million a month off of pretty much just playing video games. Pretty much just playing video games. Not even, all they got to do is just hook it up. And I think the Xboxes now, it's been a while since I played any games or anything, but I think they automatically, you just pretty much just broadcast where you want. So,
Yep.
So I mean, all you have to do is just play games. And I think about that, just when I was younger, just playing video, playing Nintendo all day, nobody was watching me, but the person who was in the room with me. But now it's well, not only are people watching you, but you can actually monetize the fact that you're playing video games. So that's the power of the internet. A lot of people say they hate the internet. The internet exposes a lot of things, and it's changing a lot of things. But yeah, it's changing a lot of things for the good, not necessarily the bad. And then it depends on how you're using the internet. It's just with anything. People say money is bad. It depends on how you're using what you're doing with the money. So it just goes to show you how you can make money anywhere, anyhow, anytime, especially if you really understand and know how to use the internet. You heard Aaron say, he started out a channel with 0 people. He grew it from, I guess, 0 to 5,000 and 5,000 to 200,000. And he said he sold it. So, a lot of people in the past are talking about selling websites and, all that stuff. But now he's saying that you can actually sell YouTube channels. And I also know, people, actually, I just found this out the other day where people are actually saying that they're selling their Facebook pixel, where pretty much you can take your pixel and sell it to a particular person. Like if you have a lot of hits and stuff and all that on your Facebook pixel, they're selling that. So you guys, there's money all around you. I guess, Aaron, as far as in the process that you got started, actually, let me ask you this. Let me reword it in a different way. What is the easiest? What's going on, Evan? How you doing? What's the easiest way? I guess now. But I guess if you look back over your time, as far as growing your YouTube channel, building your agency, and all of that stuff, what's Evan saying? Aaron's YouTube course was fire. So I guess Evan Ricker actually bought your YouTube course, and he's saying it's excellent. So I'll let you. Well, I mean, you can plug it in at the end if you want to. To just send out a link and everything like that. But looking back at your process, if you were to start over again, what would be the first thing that you would do to actually, knowing what you know now, what would be the first thing that you would do to grow as quickly as you grew, or grow faster than what you grew the first time?
Yeah. So this really, like, honestly just goes back to, and Evan can contest to this. Like, I made that course, like, it was just like a test really. And I'm not really pushing it that much anymore. It was almost like a limited release type thing, but like, he can tell you the amount. I think there's like probably combined like 6 hours of content in that thing. Like, it was insanity, the amount of time that I spent on it, because like, it's something that I'm passionate about. But yeah, I'll literally give you the blueprint right now of like, if you want to start a YouTube channel right now, this is the things that you need to focus on. And I'll talk about it. So basically, like, you got to think of it. And if you're in the digital marketing space, I'm sure a lot of people are that's watching this. You have to take it from an SEO standpoint, right? Like, if you're constantly, for example, if you're talking to your client and you're like, look, you're getting no organic traffic, nobody's seeing your website. Let's set up a plan where within like the next 4 to 6 months, we will have people that are actively searching for your industry, whether it's HVAC or dentist, whatever it is. Let's make it so that people are constantly finding your content. Same thing with YouTube. You want to make sure that you have a solid SEO foundation so that when you start to create content, then, it's getting pushed out to people. Think of it like this. Let's say you made like this really awesome video. You bought a video editor, you got someone to record everything. But if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, like, was it really like a piece of content that people are watching, right? So to start out with, you want to come up with a plan, come up with a content plan. What I call it is the 20 video plan. And this, I don't know, I probably heard this somewhere before, but basically you want to write out 20 different video ideas that are pointing back to the same thing. So for example, if we're doing digital marketing, you want to lay out like 20 different videos of pertaining to that topic. So how to start a digital marketing agency, top 10 tips for prospecting for your digital marketing agency, how to get clients for your digital marketing agency, how to start a digital marketing agency with no money. Like, you want to create this plan so that when you start to upload these videos, they all point back to this same thing. Think of it as just keywords on a website. The more times that you have the word HVAC in San Diego, same thing. If you have this entire catalog of video content that's pointing back to one topic, YouTube's going to start promoting that a little bit more. Going into a little more the nitty gritty, you want to make sure that everything on your YouTube channel is keyworded. So from the way you name your channel to the way you name your videos to the way that you format your descriptions. And people don't know this, but in the back end of like the metadata of YouTube, you want to, for example, if you're saving a thumbnail, when you're saving the video file, when you're saving anything that's going on to that video. For example, I make a video saying top 10 prospecting tips for my SMMA, right? So you want to use that as your title. You want to have that as the first line in your description. You want to export your thumbnail and your video file as that exact same name. Going back to the SEO, if you have 5-6 different lines of text that are saying how to grow your digital marketing agency, YouTube is going to continue to push that more. So it's a lot of content and a lot of different things to talk about on a live video like this. But if anybody has any further questions or anything like that, definitely add me on Facebook and shoot it my way. I'm always down to help everybody. But yeah, those are just some. If you're going to start out, just make sure you have a solid foundation before you start spending money on video editors and video equipment and stuff like that. Second thing, do not invest a crazy amount of money. Everyone always asks me, they ask like, what kind of camera should I get? What kind of audio equipment should I get? Should I get a green screen? Should I like do this? I'm like, no, like you can literally make high quality videos using this thing right here. the thing that I usually say, like video, people will always forgive like all right video, but if they can't hear you, if you invest in anything, invest in some sort of audio. I know you can buy like clip-on lav mics that go to like the bottom of your phone. There's so many different products out there that are relatively cheap to start like filmmaking on iPhones or even some of the higher Galaxy and Samsung phones. But yeah, start out a foundation and then move up them from there. Sorry to go on a rant, but
no,
that helps.
that's good. Yeah, that actually helps. You know, that's good content. Audio is the most important, as what Evan said. Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. I mean, even if the video doesn't shut off, you know, if the video doesn't show, you always have the audio with you push to a podcast and push to, you know, another place, another location.
Well,
I mean, that's good content. And then actually, I guess kind of want to go into, I guess, more practical stuff. I don't know why I want to do practical today. Maybe because I want to, you know, build my YouTube channel as well. But as far as talking about SEO, actually, I think I heard somebody say that as far as files, but they were actually talking about it in reference towards the towards your website and everything. I really did not know that you know, you needed to do the same thing in YouTube. So that's interesting that you say that. Now, as far as talking about SEO, I guess that goes back to the fact of you should use or you're saying use the same, I guess, titles and keywords and all that stuff, or it pretty much that's what SEO is, right? You know, just so you can show up, you know, in the search engine, I guess YouTube search engine. And somebody told me that, you know, obviously Google owns YouTube, so somebody saying that some of the content is actually coming up in Google, like in the Google search. So I mean, is that true? Have you seen any experience with that or not? Or if somebody types in a particular thing in the Google search, will it show up, and you know, their YouTube video show up in Google search?
Yeah. So Google does own YouTube, like it's the same company. So they're working hand in hand. So for example, if someone even goes to YouTube, or I'm sorry, if they go to Google and they type in like how to start a digital marketing agency, if Google looks at that term and says a crazy amount of people are looking it up on YouTube, on the first searches, they won't even give you like links. They'll just put 3 of the top videos that are, you know, performing within search. So yeah, like SEO, like that's huge. Unless you are, because there are different ways around it, I guess, but let's just say like you're working and you're doing a collaboration with like a large YouTube channel. Obviously that's a way around it. Like you're getting a direct link to that YouTube channel. But for a lot of people, like no one, if you're starting from zero, like someone with 500,000 subscribers is going to come to you and be like, hey, let's do a collaboration. I'll put your link at the top of my description. It's just so off brand that they won't do that. So yeah, SEO is huge. That's what I tell everybody to do. Like make sure that you have that foundation there, because at the end of the day, again, YouTube is not only does Google own YouTube, but YouTube is the second world's largest search engine right behind Google. So that's why I usually say to start out and to grow your audience, make tutorial and how-to videos, because at the end of the day, people for the most part are going to YouTube to figure out how to do things. That's how I built my YouTube channel. I focused a lot on Snapchat. And when I was first, like this was 3-4 years ago, when I first downloaded it and I was like, I don't know how to use this. Let me go to YouTube. I searched how to use Snapchat on YouTube and there was nothing about it. So I was like, okay, light bulb. No one's talking about this. Let me make a video. The video that I made in a month, it hit 1 million views. And then I was like, okay, well, this one hit 1 million views. Let me see if I can recreate this process. Started making videos talking more about how to use the Snapchat update, how to use Snapchat, how to use Snapchat update, blah, 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 how to use Snapchat in 2018, how to use Snapchat for beginners, how to use, like, it was so many how-to videos. Like right now, if you search how to use Snapchat on Google or on YouTube, like 13 of my videos come up on the first page because I grabbed that keyword of how to use Snapchat. Like my video is above the official Snapchat YouTube channel. Like, so it all comes down to, again, like creating, and this is what I'm personally saying. I've had multiple people disagree with me. They're like, I want to make vlogs. I want to do this. I was like, okay, cool. Make a vlog about your Mexico vacation. But guess what? Nobody cares. You know what I mean? Like no one's going to find that. If you search vacation in Mexico, like millions of results are going to come up. So differentiate yourself, start that foundation, create videos, create that. And same thing with digital marketing. You have to make that value and show it up front first so that people want to start following you, and then start going from there, showing your daily life. Very good example. Iman Gadzhi. He started off and was making a lot of tutorial videos on how to make money online, how to do digital marketing, how to blah, 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 get more clients, whatever. And now he's starting to branch off into more of the lifestyle stuff and showing his vacations and his lifestyle and stuff like that, because he had that foundation already. He had that audience that was for and there for the value, but also now care about his life because he gave so much value up front. They feel like it's the whole reciprocity idea there.
Yeah, I guess there would be a little controversy with that, because I know a lot of people say pretty much just, well, I guess they say grow together, as far as what I pretty much grew up to, as far as to just grow your lifestyle with your business. And I understand what you're saying, as far as show the value first. Because obviously, people are not going to follow you in your lifestyle. Well, it depends. If you're looking at, think about how Ty Lopez. I mean, yeah, he had the knowledge to himself at first, but then, he pretty much started this lifestyle. And actually, he mentioned that, and some of, I guess, the intimate media where people pay, for a lot of money to get into a program or a mastermind or something like that. He was like, I don't show all the plastic parts or anything like that. He said that's just for mostly for, I guess, the younger generation, for other people who want to see that. I use that, to come in. But I understand, people really aren't just going to follow you necessarily. They might follow you for a while, but they're not going to stay with you, because there's always somebody, with another type of lifestyle. But I mean, if you're providing value, I understand what you're saying. People are going to actually, stay with you stick around with you for a long haul.
Exactly. 100%.
And so I guess as far as why do you think that people fail? I mean, a lot of people try to grow Facebook, they try to grow YouTube channel, they try to grow Instagram, they try to grow Snapchat. What is one reason that you feel why people fail and they do not accomplish their goals?
Accomplish their goals when it comes to like growing
their
followers
channel,
or
growing followers.
So I think, that would just go back to like not succeeding with anything, and that would just be falling off the wagon and not staying consistent. I guess one thing that I have seen that a lot of people think is a little disingenuous is repurposing a lot of content. So even though like it's very time consuming to create content for each platform specifically, like if I was to create a video and I had to make like a specific video for each platform, like that's going to take a lot of time. But I strongly believe that like each platform is different and it should not be treated in the same way, right? So for example, if I'm on YouTube, like I don't mind watching a 15-20 minute video on something that I've searched, but I'm not going to watch that on Instagram. I'm not going to sit there and for what I see a lot of people doing is they'll have like a YouTube video, they'll create it for YouTube, and then they'll upload that to like Instagram stories, right? Like Instagram stories is not made to consume 15-minute long videos. It's made to capture the raw, the behind the scenes content. And that's what Instagram stories is for. Same thing with Facebook. Like Facebook, people think that videos need to be like super short and like they have to grab your attention right away. They can only be like a minute long. But the culture on Facebook is mostly the people that are on there, they aren't looking to really consume content unless it like grabs their attention up front. And then they're willing to, spend more time doing that, because nobody, I go back to this example all the time, but if you're trying to sell on Facebook, like no one's scrolling through Facebook with a credit card in their hand, ready to buy something and opt into, like a course. They're on there specifically to watch funny cat videos and see what their family's up to. So making sure that you are creating content for each platform, because, each platform has a different culture. So I think that might be like something that a lot of people fall into where they're not able to see success. But at the end of the day, like if you're consistent enough with something and you really like stick to it until you see that success, I think that's honestly just comes down to a mindset thing and not implementing as long or as frequent as you need to.
All right. Yeah, I know this actually leads me to my last question. And some people think this is a hard way. Some people find it lighthearted. If you were to have one superpower, what would it be?
Superpower?
Yeah, superpower.
I would say teleporting. I think that would be
Why?
like, huh?
Why?
I think like a lot of my time is spent like, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but like I'm super annoyed sometimes when I have to like spend time going to the grocery store and spend time, like it just takes so much time out of the day, or like even like going to the gym, right? Like it's so much time that I don't want to spend and like lose. So being able to teleport whatever I want to, heck, I can teleport to like I don't know, I have a business deal going on in LA. Like a lot of the clients that I have right now are not in my area. So being able to, hey, let's have an in-person meeting, let's get some lunch, boop, over in LA, or you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Seems like it'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I thought about that too. Like, I need to get to a certain place. You don't have to, take a plane. You don't have to worry about, driving in the car for 8 hours.
Yeah, save so much money there too.
We really could. And oh yeah, I guess that wasn't my last question. I saw Abby Waller actually just commented. Actually thought about something that she asked. Wanted me to ask you. We talked about this. I guess you could say the green room, but your fashion style. So where exactly do you get your suits and everything from?
So it's this company. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. It's called Oppo Suits. OPPOSUITS. We were talking about it a little bit before on the live. So they're actually a sponsor of mine. When I was doing like YouTube stuff, like they would always send me suits based on like the events I was going to. So for example, when I hit 100K on YouTube, I had a deal with them that I was like, hey, I'm planning to skydive at 100,000. Like send me a red suit and I can, and I'll skydive in the red suit. So I did. Another example, I hosted the world's first Snapchat award show in London. And I was like, hey, I'm hosting this show. Send me a yellow suit. And they were like, all right, cool. So I just kind of rep their name around. I have 16 of them for a bunch of different events. I think I have like 7 that are Christmas suits that when I go to parties and events and stuff like that for Christmas time. So, and for the most part, like I've found it work really well in my marketing. So my profile picture is this specific suit for a reason. Like I don't just have it up there because it looks cool. It's a pattern interrupt. These flashy colors, like, and me being able to put that on my profile, I can't tell you how many meetings I set based on people just saying, hey, your suit's great. It caught my attention. Let's like jump into a meeting. You know what I mean? So there is a method behind the crazy colors and the madness. It's just so that it's something different and it catches people's eye.
Yeah, that's good. So not only do you make money, you also do perks when you do stuff on YouTube. If you go with the right vendor. But Aaron, how can people reach out to you? What's the best way for people to get in touch with you? I know you mentioned the course, you're not pushing it, the YouTube course, you're not pushing it that much. So, what's the easiest way products you want to sell? What's the hot product that you're selling now, or just however you want people to get value?
Yeah, so easiest way is honestly just going to be to message me on Facebook. I don't have the live link for the course anymore, but if you have any questions, just shoot it my way.
All right, so you heard it from Aaron. So if you want to get in touch with him, just reach out. If you have any questions, right now you can put them in the chat box. We'll come back in and answer your questions. But I know about time to get off here. So I thank you, Aaron, for joining me. Technical difficulties, it is sometimes it happens. Hadn't happened in a while, but happened today. But appreciate it, man. Hope you have a great day, and we will see you guys later. Have a good one.
You too, man. Thanks so much.